e-commerce store owners, do you want to know how I scaled a brand new account from 0 to 44K in 4 months at a 7x ROAS? Watch this full video to find out. Okay, as you can see from the date ranges of June 12th to October 21st, 44K in revenue at a 7.94x ROAS, almost 10,000 clicks with 5K in spend overall. So really crushed it for this account, just scaling. So with the first problem when I initially took over this account, when it was spending very, very little, is first off, the conversions in attribution models were incorrect. So basically, the attribution was at last click attribution. And the problem with this is essentially when you're doing any retargeting or performance max or scaling anything from there, when you have last click attribution on, it only gives the final click all the sales credit, meaning Google won't be able to scale the other accounts or hit your conversion goals because they're not getting partial credit depending on how useful that was in the sale. So I switched this over to data driven to help the retargeting and performance max perform evenly throughout the scaling process. And then next, for the add to cart and secondary, for the add to cart and secondary and checkout starts, these were also set to primary. So switch those back over and you can see all the conversion value that would have been added that we really don't want because it will basically train Google in the wrong way to essentially optimize for window shoppers, like I always want to watch out for. Next, when setting up this campaign and strategy, I wanted to make sure for the search that we had going, we were covering branded search, non-brand search, and retargeting to test all these different ones. So the first campaign I set up was the branded search campaign. So this will protect our brand name from any competitors that were also targeting it because we were one of the higher market leaders. So people would target our keyword and our brand is very similar to our target keyword. So we want to make sure that we're protecting that. So I essentially created a branded search campaign here and I set it at maximize conversions so that we can generate as many conversions as possible, targeting only google.com and search partners. We don't want to go to display network because this can be more wasteful clicks. We want to specifically have a display campaign for that. Also make sure that our copies and responsive search ads, so we're constantly testing different types of ads so that we can have a higher click-through rate and eventually conversion rate. That's why you see a high 27% conversion rate, click-through rate, a good conversion rate, and tons of conversions from this campaign. Next, we wanted to essentially test a remarketing search campaign. So if we go to search here, you can see the remarketing campaign. So essentially, you want to have two types of remarketing: people that visit the site and people that convert. So you can essentially either have people that re-engage to purchase more, or people that have converted in the past to purchase more, or people that visited and haven't converted. We can also show them ads, and this is really good to re-engage the funnel. Or you can even target competitor terms to essentially kind of scale it up from there. So that was on the search side as well. Next, the biggest winner for this account was Performance Max. So obviously it didn't have any Performance Max and the structure really wasn't set up for it. So what I did is I set up a Performance Max campaign where we targeted competitor signals so that we could also go for the competitor terms that could be targeting us on the branded search side. Also people interested in our target audience. So these can be like affinity signals as well as in-market signals to really kind of scale the account. And then also our best performing keywords from essentially our search campaign so that we can essentially scale. And we can get these from a lot of different ways, but one of the best ways to essentially look at this is within the insights tab. So you can see what search terms are doing the best, what indexes people that are converting or getting clicks might be in market for. So you can test that signal and then make creative copy images to kind of scale that up and make it perform better. In this case, I broke out the remarketing so that we could essentially segment those budgets more properly and scale them that way. So essentially used remarketing with our customer list and also our cookie remarketing audiences to really get this account scaling and performing very well. What helped Performance Max in the beginning was testing essentially a standard shopping campaign, because often Performance Max will be very conservative when you start it off. So you want to test a lot of different auxiliary campaigns that will essentially help it learn that certain shopping terms will convert. So you can see in the beginning it was getting more conversions here, but after it learned, it didn't need as much spend. So that was very important in the beginning to kind of kickstart the Performance Max to get started and start converting faster. Okay, last but not least, for experiments on the search campaigns, we really wanted to see essentially what bid strategies would work better for some of our search campaigns. And essentially, what we saw for like branded, essentially, we were doing a manual bidding strategy to see if we can control the cost per click. But ultimately, the maximized conversions outperformed it. You can see in this experiment, increased 94% conversions, increased the ROAS. So apply that experiment so that we can get the best results possible. So you always want to A/B test this, especially in the beginning, first 30 days. Sometimes the manual bidding or clicks focused strategies can outperform the conversion focused in the first 2 weeks, but in the long term, typically conversion focused bids work better. If you found this video helpful and you'd like me to personally scale your new or existing Google Ads account, reach out below for a free one-on-one consultation.